Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Diamond Crystal, also known as the Gallivanting Grandma, and it has been a week. I'm just going to start by saying that this week, life really tried to life me, y'all, and I thought I would do this video, and I'm going to shout out Lorana from the International Welcome Center in Cuenca, because if she said it once, she said it 100 times during our 30-day healing experience, that life is the curriculum. And I am just so grateful this morning that I had the experience of dealing with trauma, learning how to step away from the narratives that we tend to tell ourselves when life starts lifing us, and deal with the facts. On several different levels this week, professionally, from a family perspective, and then personal relationships, I had to employ all of the tools that I learned during the past 30 days at the Gangsta Granny cohort. I'm grateful. I really am, because I am a big journaler. And as I look through my journal on how I would maybe have handled situations in the past, I forced myself to stop and think about the facts. And when I did that, I also challenged myself, as we were taught, to do a deep dive into my feelings, because your feelings are valid. And so I wrote down a ton of different feelings around the circumstances that, the challenges that I was dealing with this week. So individually, I probably had like 10, 12, 20 sometimes feelings around, these 3 specific challenges that came my way this week, and this week alone. So I don't know, the eclipse, retrograde, all the things that's happening in the stars, I don't know, but they all were like, it's your turn right now. You got to deal with this right now. And I'm happy that I had these tools, So, taking the time to really just sit with my feelings and then analyze my action. And that's a big one for me, right? Because I think, in another video, I may have confessed that I've been a lifelong fight or flight type of chick. And there was one situation in particular where I was like, you know what, this is not sitting well with my spirit. I'm out. But when I sat back and I dealt with, the facts around the circumstance, validated my feelings, and then I did talk it over with my co-living mate, Wendy. And so she could identify with some of the feelings that I had. So, that was validating as well. But the key is my action. What did I do? In the past, I would have deuces, I'm out. In the past, I may have just gotten really quiet. And not use my voice to express what I was feeling, so that we could have candid, transparent, and meaningful conversations around the situations. And I didn't do either of those things. I was tempted. I really did. I stepped out. I stepped like not 2 feet out, but like 1.5 feet out. And as I sat back and I analyzed, I was like, no, this is a fear-based reaction. So I had gone back to my drug of choice, which was flight. Flight is all about fear. And I preach too much faith over fear not to incorporate that into my own personal and business relationships, right? Faith over fear. So then I had to go back and acknowledge the fact that that was an old reaction, and I'm not living that way anymore. So, there are a lot of components or factors that go into you using your voice. And a lot of times I have not used my voice because I didn't want to upset another party. I didn't want to disrupt the cadence. And I also have fear around abandonment. So, if I use my voice and I say what I really feel, how is this party going to react? In the past, I've had negative experiences with using my voice. It was then used in retribution when I spoke my truth. And so you learn after you've been hit upside your head a couple of times emotionally and mentally with emotionally immature people that sometimes, it's just better to be quiet and keep the peace. Well, guess what? I'm not living in that phase of life anymore. I'm not living that way anymore. I am going to use my voice and open my throat chakra every single opportunity that I have. Because if I were to just be quiet, or if I were just to, fade to black into the background, that flight instinct, then would I be living in my truth? I wouldn't. And so if you're not living in your truth, then you're not living in freedom, are you? I will tell you that when I spoke my truth in each one of these three situations, during, I felt afraid. Afterwards, I felt empowered, I felt liberated, and there was a certain level of peace and calm that came over me. Because I did not act, not react. I did not act in the same way that I would have just 6 months ago. And so that's growth. And, if you think that these healing retreats and, time that you spend with yourself, examining the true inner you is time that's not well spent, or money that's not well spent, then I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. And that you should continue to explore how you can grow and develop such that you are living in your authentic truth. There's nothing more empowering, particularly as a single Black woman, to be able to stand in your truth, because then nothing else matters, right? That is the epitome of freedom and liberation. So, again, I am eternally grateful for the 30 days that I got to spend looking inside. This level of inner standing that I have right now, oh my goodness, it's priceless. It is absolutely priceless. So let me encourage you to continue to own your truth, speak your truth, even if you have to do it afraid. The outcome can be beautiful. All right, y'all. Thank you for sharing. Thanks for following the journey. I appreciate it. And wherever you are in the world, whatever you are doing, I wish you nothing but peace and blessings.